Okay, linear inequalities. So, a couple things you need to remember. You're going to draw a solid line when the inequality looks like this. So think about it. Solid line. Draw a solid line. When it's missing a solid line under the inequality, draw dashed lines. The other thing you need to remember about linear equalities is shading. All right, so let's get started. So here we have two linear equations. They both are going to have solid line. One is shading. This says y is less than or equal. This one says y is greater than or equal. So when you go to shade, to draw this one, remember you'd start up here at 3, you'd go up 1 over 3, you draw that graph, and then look at what that says. Y is less than. So if you put your kind of finger or dot right there, and this is the y-axis right here, right? Y-axis. Where do y's get smaller? So if you're at 3, where are y's smaller? Is 2 smaller than 3 or is 4 smaller? Well, down below. So you'd shade everywhere underneath there. Then if you were to graph the other line, you'd start down there at -3, and you'd go down 5 over to the right 3, but can't do that. So I'm going to do it in reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To the left 3. 1, 2, 3. That would be that line. This says y is greater than. So right here, looking at that line, everywhere greater than that is up above. So I'm going to everywhere above that line. And so I have a better version of this so that you can see what I'm talking about. All I did was graph this first line, the black line right here, and that said y is less than. So in the yellow highlighter, everywhere underneath the black line, I shaded. Then I graphed the blue line. Remember, the blue line was right here, and I had to go up 5, back 3, drew that line, and then this said y is greater than. So everywhere above this line, so it really looks kind of more to the right. So I just shaded everywhere to the right. And then notice where they overlap. I do horizontal and vertical lines for a reason. Where they overlap creates a hashtag. All right, I know that's very lame. So here's another one. This one we'd start down at -1, solid line. We'd go up 1 over 2 and keep doing that. And that line would look about like that. I should have drawn it like this. All right. And this is y is greater than. So everywhere above. And this next line, hollow or dashed right here because there's not a solid line. So I'm going to put a hollow dot. And I can't really go up 5 over 2 for sure. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And do my best to guess. Now that says y is less than. So everywhere less, it's down here. So I'm going to, and then look, they overlapped in this area. So now I'm going to pull that apart, erase everything. So I already had it graphed on here. And where they overlapped, in this region right here. All right, and I think this one you would have to solve, get y by itself first. So this one right here, I would subtract an x, and I would have to use a dashed line. Did that, and that says y is greater. So everywhere above that line I shaded in yellow. And this other one, you would have to subtract 2x, but then you have to remember to divide by -3. And remember, when you divide by -3, anytime you divide an inequality by a negative, it causes all of the signs to flip. So you have to flip the inequality. Again, a dashed line, we started down here and we went up 2/3, graph that line. This says y is greater than. So everywhere above that I shaded in green, and where they overlap is the inequality. All right, and then I'm going to show you what to do about when you have nonlinear inequalities. So this first equation is a circle. X squared plus y squared is greater than or equal to 4. So you'd tell me that's a circle with radius of 2. The next one is linear. We would just subtract x both sides. And remember, if it's a circle, if it's a radius of 2, I'm going to pull. Everywhere at 2, you kind of draw this curved line and then follow that curved line around, and it's a solid line because of the solid inequality line. And then the next one, this equation right here, let me go ahead and, there we go. I put a hollow dot at 2, and then the slope was -1, which is what I did there. And then now notice we're going to shade. So for the circle, this is essentially saying that everywhere is going to be greater than the radius of 2. Well, if this is the radius, if the radius from here to here is 2, everywhere bigger than 2 is out here. If this is the radius, everywhere. So notice everywhere on the outside of that circle is the yellow highlighter. And then when I solve this equation, y is less than -x plus 2, that says y is less than. So everywhere below that dashed line, the horizontal green, and notice where they overlap. Well, I do not want to do that. They overlap on the outside. And then when you do these, you have to tell me the point. So this would be at 2, 0. This right here would be at 0, 2. That's actually very, very key. So shading, labeling the intersection points, and knowing which direction to shade, whether inside the circle. If this would have been less than or equal to 4, you would have shaded the entire inside of the circle. All right, that's it for this one.